Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation, and what's going on, sports fans? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones, and welcome to the NFL Red Zone Watch Along right here on the Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast, as well as the State of the Saints podcast. I know some of you have been watching the Red Zone for quite some time here. I apologize for my lateness. I just recently got back from church, but I do appreciate you for tuning in. And I do want to let you know that this show is powered by BETUS. Sign up today, get up to 150% on your first deposit, up to 125% on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. Download the BETUS app by going to their website or downloading the BETUS app. So if you're watching this on the State of the Saints podcast, you know that it's week 12 and the New Orleans Saints are on a bye. So we still love football at the end of the day. We love our New Orleans Saints, but we love football. And I thought it would be pretty cool if we all kind of got together and maybe checked out some of the other NFL teams. You know, it's so easy for us to look at our team and look at some of the things that they are dealing with. And we feel like we're the only team that endure it. Also, it gives you an opportunity to take a look at some of these teams that are red hot right now, like the Detroit Lions. They're playing against the Indianapolis Colts. And also teams that are pretty good, like the Houston Texans, in a division matchup with the Tennessee Titans, who shockingly have a 17-7 lead as of right now. So some of you already been watching Red Zone, but if you have not, I encourage you to check out NFL Red Zone, pull up a chair and enjoy. I mean, I got my popcorn ready. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get off screen and we're just going to take a look at the NFL Red Zone. Shouts out to people that are in the chat right now. Shouts out to those that are listening at home, wherever you are, wherever you may be. Really do appreciate that. Shouts out to Archangel. His Atlanta Falcons are on a bye this week as well. You got Who Dat for Life. Chris, Tiffany is here. Thank you, Tiffany, for being here. Tim is here. Charlie Dog, Brandon, Big Southern Pride. Thank you for being here as well. I'll be reading your comments throughout the show as well. And also we'll be getting your comments. Feel free to chime in. If you just so happen to see the Red Zone, this is your first time checking out Gumbo Pod or State of the Saints, feel free to comment. We're very interactive. It's not just about donating money here. We try to interact with you regardless. All right, so sit back once again and enjoy as I get off camera. And let's go ahead and get into it. I'm looking at the Chicago Bears here. They have a divisional matchup versus the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota been playing really well this season, despite the fact that a lot of people were wondering where the quarterback play was going to come from. But Sam Darnold has had one of his best seasons, if not his best season, as an NFL pro. And they're trying to stay close to the Detroit Lions as possible. I think they still have a really good chance of winning, a playoff spot, or earning a playoff spot rather. And as we see CJ Stroud just threw a red zone touchdown to Nico Collins, who has been back for the last couple of weeks. He was dealing with a hamstring injury. kept him on IR, and he missed a few weeks, but he's back, and he's looking apart, man. He started the season off red hot, and it was a little bit of a stall early in the season when he ended up, pulling his hamstring. But that's good to see. CJ Stroud was missing him. CJ Stroud, even though he's having a pretty good season, not the season he had when he was a rookie, but that was a really good pass, man. It went right past the fingertips of the defender to Nico Collins. As we see, a 48-yard field goal now by the Chicago Bears is up, and it's blocked. It's blocked. It's picked up by a member of the Minnesota Vikings. He tries to return it. He tries to get a block, goes around us. He cuts back, and he's tackled midfield. Man, so the Chicago Bears had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to take the lead, and right there, man, the Minnesota Vikings making a play. That was a really good special teams play by the Minnesota Vikings there. I mean, it was pretty much a chip shot field goal from NFL standards, and it was a blocked. I see one of the defenders, but I mean that was a huge play right there. So the game is still tied at 7 as we shift gears now to the New York Giants, who have Tommy DeVito starting. Daniel Jones released by the team. All right, that's a catch by the tight end, Bellinger, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Bellinger makes a catch. All right, Sam Darnold tries to throw the pass. He gives it off to Justin Jefferson, close to the first down. So the Minnesota Vikings are 8-2. Like I said, they're trying to stay as close as they possibly can to the Detroit Lions, hoping that they slip up. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings are a good football team, but we know the Detroit Lions right now, they got to be the best team, not only in the NFC, but the entire NFL right now. And as Sam Darnold on a quarterback keeper, on a quarterback sneak, on a 3rd and 1, looked like he has the first down. Kevin O'Connell, taking a look at him. I mean, been one of the best young coaches in the league. Won a lot of games over the last 3 seasons. All right, as we look at a 3rd and 16, Tommy DeVito and the Giants are trying to convert. Tampa sends the pressure. He tries to throw it, and he throws it away. So the New York Football Giants decide to move on from Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones decides that he doesn't want to be a 4th-string quarterback, so he asks for his release, and they gladly oblige, which basically ends the chapter of a disaster of a draft pick in Daniel Jones. You got to call it for what it is. All right, there was a handoff to the running back at Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones gets a few yards, gets about 2. All right, they go hurry up here. We got Sam Darnold under center. All right, he sees something, he audibles. He's letting everybody know what they're going to do. All right, so he got the call in. He's under center on a 2nd and 8. Receiver in motion is the play action. Sam Darnold looks. He throws it deep down the field. Looked like he's going for Jefferson, and it's intercepted, but a flag is on a play. I think they're going to call pass interference on a corner because you can clearly see that he was tugging on the jersey of Justin Jefferson, who had a step on him. Probably would have been a touchdown. And by him pulling on that jersey, it gave the safety an opportunity to go underneath to catch the interception. Come on, man. Johnson, come on, man. You knew that was you was holding that guy. You know you was holding that guy. He got you on a step, and you knew you were about to get beat, so you pulled back, but pass interference on the defense, yeah. I mean, it was clear as day. I mean, Justin Jefferson had a step on Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson pulled on the back of his jersey, and the safety was able to catch the interception, but that's going to set them up in the red zone. Anthony Richardson on the rollout, throws the pass. I mean, tough catch right there by Michael Pittman. He goes around, gets to midfield, and that was a tough catch right there. Those are the toughest ones when you know for a fact that you're going to get hit. But, he absorbed the contact and was able to get some extra yards right there. Good yards after the catch. Always good, especially when you're playing against a Detroit Lions team. You got to make sure that you're making all the plays. All right, so here we go. 1st and goal for the Minnesota Vikings. Addison in motion. They hand the ball off to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones kind of stutter steps a little bit, gets past the line of scrimmage. Probably got about 2 yards on the play. So you got plenty of time, 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Game tied at 7. Chicago Bears had an opportunity to take a lead at least for a short period of time. But when you're playing against some of these good teams, you can't leave any points off the board. Here's a handoff. Watching the Dallas Cowboys. Rico Dotto up the middle for a first down. So the Dallas Cowboys playing tough with the Washington Commanders. Aaron Jones in motion. They look. Sam Darnold tries to throw the pass, and it is caught. And I think he has the touchdown. I think he does. Jalen Naylor with the touchdown on a play. Really good play design right there. Sam Darnold pass to Jalen Naylor for the touchdown. And that's going to give the Minnesota Vikings the lead. So the Chicago Bears woes continue, had an opportunity to put points on the board. Instead, Minnesota blocks the kick, and they just march right down the field. A pass interference play. Sam Darnold tried to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Jalen Johnson gets the pass interference, which set the Minnesota Vikings up in the red zone, and they were able to cash it in. But there's plenty of time for the Chicago Bears. Plenty of time for them to be able to get it together, but you got to be able to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves when you're playing against top teams like the Minnesota Vikings are. So this play is under review. It's not set in stone yet. So we'll find out if that was a touchdown or not. Meanwhile, Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 17-0 lead. He throws the pass off to Bucky Irvin, who's having a monster game, cuts back across the field, gets yards after the catch, gets a block from Mike Evans, and he gets about to the 47-yard line. Bucky Irvin, man. I mean, this guy is very underrated as a running back, has really good yards after the catch. We looking at Tua Tagovailoa gets a catch, and that is caught by Jalen Waddle. So Jalen Waddle gets a first down there on a 15-yard reception. So we're going to go and take a look at this game. The Miami Dolphins, whose record is shocking a lot of people. A lot of fans may have thought their record would have been better. I mean, Tua Tagovailoa, of course, missed some games with that concussion. They tried to get themselves some quarterback play from Skylar Thompson and Tyler Huntley. Just didn't work out. And Tua, I think that, maybe he came back a little bit too early, if you ask me. Well, we're taking a look at a punt from the Dallas Cowboys, and it is blocked. It was tipped. So a disaster of a punt by the Dallas Cowboys. The Washington Commanders get their hands on a football, and now they're in plus territory, man, to start that drive. So that was a good play right there. Really good play. Take a look at what some of you have to say. Said smash that like button, chat, and subscribe to both the SOTS and the Gumbo Pie podcast if you haven't already. Thank you, Cartel. I appreciate that, man. Laughing my behind off. Ha ha, who that for life? Yo, I got jokes. Let's see. Laughing at the Cowboys. I think a lot of people are laughing at the Cowboys this season. Let's see, TJ, what are your thoughts about the reports that Aaron Glenn could be our next head coach? I think there's some realism about those reports. I mean, you have to take a look at the fact that Aaron Glenn did spend some time with the New Orleans Saints as a secondaries coach, as a guy who was a part of that coordinator staff. So that doesn't surprise me. And we all know that the New Orleans Saints, they like, they like those type of coaches that they're familiar with. Familiarity is key for the New Orleans Saints. Me personally, I feel like you just need to turn the page completely and maybe start anew. But I'm not mad if they decide to go for Aaron Glenn. I think that he's been coaching for a long time. He's a leader of men, and he deserves an opportunity. As we look at a 1st and 10 from Jaden Daniels, it's intercepted by the Dallas Cowboys, and they are pushing it down the field. I don't know exactly what happened with that. Looked like Jaden Daniels tried to check it down to the running back, and the defender just took it out of his hands. I mean, yeah. No, it was actually tipped up in the air, and it just was intercepted. I mean, that Brian Robinson had an opportunity to catch that pass, and it just tipped up and into the hands. And this looked like another turnover as we take a look at red zone between the Titans and the Texans. They tried to hand the ball off to Tony Pollard, and he fumbled, and it was picked up by, it looks like the Houston Texans, and it was. The Houston Texans fall on a football after a fumble from Tony Pollard. So they had a 17-7 lead. I'm talking the Tennessee Titans, and yeah, CJ Stroud hook up with Nico Collins, and now they get themselves a turnover, so they have an opportunity to take the lead. All right, as we take a look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 4-6, has lost 4 straight games. Been really tough for them. Probably a breath of fresh air going up against a struggling Giants team. Here we go. Baker Mayfield throws the pass down the field, and it is caught by Trey Palmer for the first down. So the young guys getting involved. In a shocker right here, we got the Kansas City Chiefs in a little bit of a struggle against the Carolina Panthers. As we take a look at Patrick Mahomes tried to scramble, and he dives for the first down. Xavier Wood tried to make the tackle, but it looks like Patrick Mahomes got the first down. I think this is a shocker so far that the Panthers have been pretty competitive. He passed the ball off to Samaje Perine. Perine gets the first down and more, stiff arms a man, and gets about 15 yards on the play. So Samaje Perine, a guy that they signed to actually add a little bit of this dynamic, catching the ball out of the backfield. We know Samaje Perine is talented, man. I mean, he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's the NCAA. He has the NCAA record for most rushing yards in a game when he was at Oklahoma. So here we go right here. In the red zone, Kansas City trying to cash in. They were down in the red zone before, but the Panthers, forced them to a field goal. Let's see if they do it again. Here's another handoff. Nobody's fooled, but he's able to get a few yards. Mecole Hardman. I mean, nobody was fooled on a play. It was just a missed tackle by the defender of the Carolina Panthers. So here we go. Tua Tagovailoa hands the ball off. Oh, no, it's a play fake. And around the side, they tried to give it to Wright instead. A good play design right there. Even got me fooled. Everybody thought that he hand the ball off to the wide receiver. Instead, he hands it off to Wright, and goes around the side. So here we go. We take a look at the Houston Texans, trailing 17-14. They tried to get a ball to Joe Mixon and gets tackled violently to the ground. I mean, a little extra on that one. And he put a little extra sauce on that steak there, and a wide open pass. As we take a look at how they got down to the red zone, that was a catch, and that was caught by Nico Collins again, who is red hot right now, and it has to feel good for a guy that missed quite a few games. Tyreek Hill, who has pretty much been a non-factor this season, man, has not been the Tyreek Hill that we've grown accustomed to. A lot of people feel like maybe that was because of the questionable quarterback play and, dealing with Skylar Thompson and Tyler Huntley. And now we look at the Detroit Lions, and almost intercepted by the defender of the Indianapolis Colts. So we know that Jared Goff has struggled with turnovers this season. He had 5 interceptions in one game, the game versus the Houston Texans on Sunday night. They were able to still win that game. But yeah, he has been dealing with some turnover issues as of late. All right, so taking a look at the Dallas Cowboys, and it's a 3-0 game right here. He throws the ball, is caught by CeeDee Lamb, kind of bobbled the ball there. Still was able to get it. St. Juice with tackle the cornerback. 2nd and 9 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Up 17-0 over the New York Giants, who, by all intents and purposes, have conceded this season by allowing Tommy DeVito to be their quarterback. Pretty much in tank mode here. But hey, Tampa, they need a win in a major way. Get themselves back in the win column. Baker Mayfield looking, throws it, and it is caught. And it looks to be caught by Sterling Shepard, their former teammate at Oklahoma, for a few yards. Still going to be 3rd down. But like I said, the New York Giants are trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. Brian Daboll, is he the right coach? He's the guy that's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. Couldn't get anything done with Daniel Jones. Me personally feel like it has a lot to do with the front office. But I mean, getting rid of Saquon and giving Daniel Jones all that money was a huge mistake. And, so maybe they need to take a look at the general manager in that regard. All right. So we take a look at, I believe that's Robinson. He looks like Ashawn Robinson looked like he's in a lot of pain. All right. So here we go. And tried to get a ball to Xavier Word. He probably would have had close to a first down if he caught it. But you got to give credit to the Carolina Panthers, man. I mean, they are up to the task today. A lot of people probably thought that would have been a blowout around this time, but they're hanging tough. Baker Mayfield in the pocket. He scrambles. Giants with the pass rush. And there's a flag on a play. It was an incomplete pass, but there is a flag. All right, so it looked like it's going to be on a Karake, and he's saying that the pass was uncatchable. So because the pass was uncatchable, maybe – all right, so here's another pass, and that pass is caught for the touchdown by, I believe, Noah Gray, the other tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Kansas City Chiefs starting to pull away a little bit. Carolina hanging tough, but that was a really good play, pass and catch. Noah Gray has been the guy. I mean, he has really stepped up. I mean, Travis Kelce has not been what he has been in years past, and Noah Gray has been slowly emerging as a reliable receiver in the tight end in that tight end room for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that kick is up and good. Remember, Harrison Buckner, he is on IR right now. All right, so here we go. Baker Mayfield tries to give the pass off to Rachaad White. Rachaad White makes a guy miss, make two guys miss, and get the first down. That was all Rachaad White right there. That was all him. It should have been a play that should have been a loss of yards, but bad tackling and some missed opportunities there by the Giants. So now we fast forward to the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, he throws the ball. I mean, this guy can walk into the end zone walks into the end zone A-Chain. A-Chain walks right into the end zone. Nobody was around him. I mean, you could tell that was just a busted coverage right there. Devon A-Chain he could have walked into the end zone. But the Miami Dolphins get on the board once again. And now we take a look at the Giants. I mean, searching for answers here. I mean, you had an opportunity to tackle a guy out in the backfield. Just wasn't successful. All right, Baker Mayfield looking, scrambles, throws the ball down the field, tries to get it to Sterling Shepard. He looking for a flag, but Devontae Banks, really good coverage on the play. Now we look at the Houston Texans setting up for a 28-yard field goal. Pretty much a chip shot here. It's up, and it is right down the middle and good. So although Tennessee, they lost the football on that fumble, they were able to keep the Houston Texans out of the end zone. Baker Mayfield in the gun, looking, scrambling, decides to take it himself, goes up the middle, and ball pops in the air, and they're saying that he crossed the plane, so it's going to be a touchdown. And Baker Mayfield letting the New York Giants here, giving them a little bit of that Tommy DeVito action. Tommy DeVito is smiling, so there you go right there. Baker Mayfield showing that chip on his shoulder, man. He's a competitor. So let's see. Did he get it? And I don't know. I don't know if he had full possession there, folks. That is going to be very interesting. I don't know. It looks like, well, nah, he got it. He got it. He got it. He tried to brace for the fall. He tucked the ball tight. It was able to cross the plane. So I think it's going to be good. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now are up. Well, he missed the field goal. That's no good, but still up 23-0 are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the New York Football Giants. Now we fast forward to the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels in the gun on a 1st and 10. Jaden Daniels throws, and it is caught. This one by Terry McLaurin. He tries to fight for some extra yards, but he can't get any. But that's a good connection right there. Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels over the last few weeks have not had that connection. So it's good to see that they're actually trying to find it in the game versus the Cowboys. 2nd and 4. Jaden Daniels in the gun again, throws the ball, throws it again, and this time he gets it to the wide receiver. And we fast forward now to the Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. Hands the ball off to Tony Pollard again. Pollard up the middle through 40 to 50 and gets into plus territory. So trying to make up for that miscommunication between him and Levis, get a big-time gain there. So first down for Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders as they have a 3-0 lead over the Dallas Cowboys. Jaden Daniels decides to take it himself, gets past the line of scrimmage, gets a few yards, gets out of bounds, gets shoved out of bounds by the cornerback of the Cowboys. That's a 2nd down for the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, 7-4 this season, a pleasant surprise to a lot of people. Thought they would have been a little bit better, but not as good as they've been. But they've been struggling down the stretch as the competition has begun to heat up. But, they got a lot of promising young talented players on this team. Jaden Daniels in the gun. He's looking. He scrambles. He tries to get away. He tries to go down the field, and I think that's going to count as a sack. He lost yards on the play. Couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So that is a 3rd down. And the Dallas Cowboys, man, defensively, they're hanging tough today. They've been struggling this season against the run. They've been struggling against quarterbacks that can move around the pocket a little bit. And, Jaden Daniels has been one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, not just as from a rookie perspective, but a quarterback in general. I mean, usually you'll see these rookies show promise, but he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So it looks like they're trying to bring pressure on him. And they move him out of the pocket, and once again he gets out of bounds. So nobody was down the field. They're not giving Jaden Daniels any time to go through his progressions. All right, Drake May in the pocket, and it looks like it could have been a fumble. Looked like his arm was going forward there, but yeah, I think his arm was going forward, but the ball was knocked out of his hands. That can go either way. I mean, we all know, man. It looked like he threw the ball. It looked like he tried to throw the ball. It looked like it was a forward motion. So I think they're probably going to give him the ball back. And we look at the Carolina Panthers, man. I mean, Bryce Young has been playing really well. I mean, has really stepped up his game over the last few weeks, since they win over the New Orleans Saints. He has had a better connection with his receivers, and it seems like he's a little bit more confident. So that's got to be a pleasant surprise to a lot of Carolina Panthers fans out there. Pinheiro warming up, knowing that more than likely he'll have to come out, rather it's kicking a field goal to, add a point to the board or maybe to add 3. But here we go. Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers in the red zone against the world champion Kansas City Chiefs, coming off a very emotional loss to the Buffalo Bills, first loss of the season. Bryce Young looking, throws it, and that pass is caught. That one is to Jadavian Sanders. It looks like, he's a little shaken up on the play. Like he landed on his head there. So Bryce Young looking, scrambling, throws the ball. And, I mean, Jadavian Sanders, what he has been for the Carolina Panthers over the last few weeks, I mean, you got to be impressed. But he lands on top of his head, man. You hate to see stuff like that from a young player that is really being emerging and really, becoming one of the best young tight ends in football, especially like for what we've seen this year. So he lands on top of his head. I mean, you hate to see stuff like that, man. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe it's just a little bit of a stinger. Let's just pray for the best for young Jadavian Sanders there. As we fast forward to the Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans, Will Levis in the pocket. He's looking. He gets away, but no, he cannot get too far because that is a sack by the Houston Texans. I mean, Houston Texans, one of the best teams in the league, especially when it comes to the pass rush. Got some very young, talented players on both sides of the football, but defensively, they hunt every single week. me personally, I think you got to look at his arm down. I mean, Calvin Ridley looked like he was going to be wide open. Looked like he missed him there. So, and now we take a look at some of the scores. Says TJ, do coaches have to prove their philosophy works in some ways during the interview process? Yeah, pretty much. That plays a huge role, man. You want to make sure that you're not hiring a coach and his scheme doesn't match what the players are able to do, because you got to find yourself basically trying to turn around your whole team. Cooper Rush tries to get the ball down the field, and that pass is indeed caught. I think that's caught by Colbert, if I'm not mistaken. No, Brooks, excuse me, caught by Brooks for the first down. So the Cowboys, that is definitely what they need. St. Juste tried to hold him there, but he was able to break free and caught the pass on two defenders. So that's the spark that the Dallas Cowboys are going to need in this game if they're going to try to win it. Dallas Cowboys, it just seems like it's just not their year when it comes to anything, offensively or defensively. They've been struggling. Now we look at Tyreek Hill on a wide receiver screen, gets a few yards on the play. So they're going to bring out Aubrey, who has been one of the most accurate kickers in football, but he has missed a field goal. I think he missed one last week. It shocked a lot of people. He is slowly merging into that Justin Tucker type territory. So we'll see. Aubrey is trying to send the Dallas Cowboys into the locker room with a tie with the Washington Commanders, 3-3, with a 46-yard field goal attempt here. He's 0-2. He struggled. He missed a 35 and a 42-yard field goal. So could be one of those situations where someone's dealing with the yips, but not in this case. It is true right down the middle. And with 3 seconds left, you have to believe that it's going to be a tied ball game going into the locker room. And Tyreek Hill making some catches. And like I said, Jatavian Sanders lands clean smack dab on his head. And, oh, man, they're bringing out, man, you hate to see that. They're bringing out the gurney for him, man. You hate to see stuff like that, man. Hate to see stuff like that. Yeah, it's official. Giants getting the number 1 pick. We not even that bad. Yeah, they pretty awful. And I think who that for life. I think they pretty much conceded, Chris, that I think they pretty much conceded that they tank it. I think that when you get rid of your starting quarterback, as bad as he was, he's still probably the best quarterback you got in that room. And I just think that they just realize what they are. So I don't think that you might as well just get that number 1 pick out your mind. All right, Tua Tagovailoa looking, scrambles, throws the ball down the field, tries to connect once again with Tyreek Hill, but that pass is incomplete. So we got the Houston Texans with the football, 2nd and 10, 41 seconds left in the second quarter. CJ Stroud throws the ball, and it is picked off. I mean, sailed right past his receiver there into the hands of the defender for the Tennessee Titans. So the Titans are set up close to the red zone. A few more yards, they will be there. And that's incomplete. He tried to get the ball to Calvin Ridley. And, Calvin Ridley has been a little bit frustrated as of late. Feels like he needs to get the ball a little bit more. And there's a flag, it looks like, on the play, or maybe it's a timeout. Okay, it was a timeout that was called by the New England Patriots. Take a look at Will Levis at the bottom of the screen, tied with the Houston Texans. Then we got the Bears and the Vikings, and also the Dolphins and the Patriots. And Will Levis takes a shot. I mean, my goodness. They are coming after him now. So that is the second sack. I think his name is Al Shamar, if I'm not mistaken. That's his second sack. I mean, and he did not see that coming. He did not feel that pressure. He did not sense the pressure, but credit to him holding on to the football there. And my mistake, that's Will. I think that's Will Anderson. Yeah, that's Will Anderson. My mistake. That's Will Anderson. the guy who was the 3rd overall pick in the draft. So here we go, 3rd and 18. So you started, close to the red zone. Now you're completely pushed out, but you don't want to take another sack. Then you get yourself out of field goal range. Levis looking, and he sacked again, but this time I think that sack may have cost him to not be able to kick a field goal, knocking him out of field goal range there. This is going to be a long field goal if they decide to do it. So the defense helping out C.J. Stroud after that turnover. If they're going to try to do something, it's going to have to be a long field goal. As we look at Bryce Young, he sends pressure. He throws the ball, gets hit, and Moore tried to make the catch, but he got hit in the face. I'm talking Bryce Young before he threw the ball. As we take a look at Caleb Williams, and that pass was almost intercepted. Caleb Williams' struggles continue. If you ask me, he's 15 of 20 for 170 yards, but I think a lot of people expected him to be much better than he has been. Jason Sanders with a 21-yard field goal, chip shot, and that is up and good. So the Miami Dolphins add 3 to their lead. They now lead 24-0. Meanwhile, Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers on a 2nd and 10. Ball is a little bit about the 11-yard line. He tries to get the ball to his other tight end there, and that pass is incomplete. Now we take a look at a 3rd and 12 for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense. Clock is ticking, and they get the ball off before the delay of game and gets it to the tight end. That's not going to do it. He gets a few yards, but that is not a first down. So that's going to bring a 4th down for the Bears. So here we go, a 56-yard field goal. 56-yard field goal for the Tennessee Titans. Snap, placement, kick on the way, down the middle, up, and good. So there we go. They were still able to get some points on the board, but that was a tough field goal. All right, so Bryce Young tried to get the ball to Xavier Legette. Well, at least he was the closest one in the vicinity, and that pass was incomplete. So you were able to get a turnover, wasn't able to get the touchdown, but at least you were able to add 3 if you're the Tennessee Titans. Here we go, a 49-yard attempt for the Chicago Bears. Try to add 3 to the board. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. So, and here's another field goal by Carolina Panthers, 29-yarder by Pinheiro, and that is good. So you got 3 field goals. And now the Kansas City Chiefs going to the half. They go into the locker room with a score of 20-9. They lead over the Carolina Panthers. We got 20-17 lead for the Tennessee Titans, 24-0. The Dolphins over the Patriots. You got the 14-10 lead for the Minnesota Vikings over the Bears. The Indianapolis Colts hanging tough in the start of the 3rd quarter. 14-6. The Detroit Lions lead them. And at the half, you have a 23-0 lead for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the New York Giants, and a tie, a ball game 3-3 at the half for the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. So, I mean, you hate to see stuff like this. As we take a look at Jatavian Sanders leaving, and you hate to see stuff like that. I mean, such a really promising player, man. He's really come on over the last couple of weeks. So we take a look. The only game that's in the second half, the Detroit Lions and Indianapolis Colts, and tried to throw the ball to Jamison Williams, but that pass is incomplete. Good coverage there. He's looking for a flag, won't get one. So you got to be impressed, and you got to admire what you're looking at from the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, that was just really good coverage by Blackman there. He's looking for a flag, but the pass was behind Jamison Williams, and Blackman was able to knock the ball away. Meanwhile, while we're there, I just want to let everybody know that the State of the Saints podcast is powered by BetUS. You can sign up today, get up to 150% on your first deposit, 125% on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. You can download the BetUS app, or you can go to their website and use the promo code U2150. As Jared Goff decides to throw a pass to Tim Patrick, he's fired up, the 6'5" guy who is recently added on to the Detroit Lions after having a nice little stint with the Denver Broncos. Big target in the middle of the field. Go ahead and read some of your comments, man. Says Giants are so bad. Kansas City still struggling but winning. Yeah, it's official. Giants not getting number one overall pick. Well, they're getting the number one overall pick. Then again, says I'm getting close to hitting $1,000 on a $50 bet on Prize Pick. Let's go. Even though the Saints ain't winning, I might ain't playing. I might win. Well, look, that's what sites like BetUS and DraftKings and all of those sites are for. I mean, and then also, it just gives you an opportunity, like times like today where we're watching NFL Red Zone, to take a look at some of these other teams out here. And you see, man, you see a lot of mistakes. You see a lot of spotty football play, by offensive side, defensive side of teams, and it just kind of put things into perspective. It just makes you feel like when you're just watching Saints games that you're dealing with this alone. But there are a lot of teams out here that are trying to figure it out, and then you have teams like the Detroit Lions who seem to figure it out, and they're the best team in the league right now. There's a play action pass. Jared Goff decides to throw the pass, tries to get it to Sam Laporta, and that pass is incomplete. All right, so it's the start of the third quarter for the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tommy DeVito finally hooks up with Malik Neighbors there. He's been very quiet today, but can't really blame it on him. You can't really blame it on Malik Neighbors. I mean, quarterback play has been suspect, to say the least, since he's been there. So I know he's hoping that the New York Giants can actually draft a quarterback that can get him the football consistently. And if that's Shedeur Sanders, I think he might have that. Jared Goff scrambles, gets past the first defender. They tried to hit him, and he's looking for a flag, but I don't think he's going to get one. I think that was pretty bang right there. Quarterbacks, sometimes they feel like they never need to get hit. But that sets up a 4th and 1. Dan Campbell, I don't know if a field goal unit is going to come out. I don't see that happening. I mean, he's just not a field goal guy, especially on a 4th and 1. Like, you already know he was going for it. So 4th down conversion, they're 10 of 15 on 4th down, and I expect for this not to change. I expect for this to be a handoff probably to David Montgomery and be a first down as they hand the ball off David Montgomery. And no, to my surprise, and to a lot of people's surprise, they did not get it. They did not get it. So the Indianapolis Colts making a stand in Lucas Oil Stadium. Man, I'm shocked. All right, so we got a challenge on the play. Somebody's challenging a ruling on the field. So Todd Bowles always seems to smile no matter if his team is up or down, but it seems like he's going to challenge a ruling on the field. So let's see what he's challenging here. I guess he's trying to challenge to see if Malik Neighbors caught the football and fumbled. So we'll see. Unc OG, now ain't nobody helping the Saints, never works. Let's see. Well, I need the Giants play the same way when we play them. Well, look, I don't see the Giants' fortune changing, like even with like Tommy DeVito. Like I just don't see it, man. I just think that was their way of conceding without conceding. I mean, it's justifiable because Daniel Jones has been terrible, but who do they have in that quarterback room that's any better? I mean, the Giants don't even have a point right now. So there we go. Shabuzi Johns. Has anybody ever heard of that individual? I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry. I don't mean no disrespect, but I don't know who that is. All right, so the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. Then you got the Cowboys and the Giants. And then you got the Dolphins and the Packers. I'm pretty sure when they thought like the Giants and the Cowboys, they probably thought they was going to look like something. I don't think nobody want to see that. And I'm pretty sure that the Chicago Bears probably going to get waxed by the Detroit Lions, but I digress. Tried to hit. Looked like the mascot of the Indianapolis Colts was about to hit Roger Goodell in the face with a pie, which would have been hilarious. And I don't think any Saints fans would have objected to it. But as we can see the scores on the screen, I assume they're trying to wait. You got Zaire Franklin, a longtime linebacker. Guy has always made plays, always been the top tackling guy. Jared Goff looking. It's always funny to see like when these quarterbacks go back to the sidelines and they take a look at the play where it went wrong and they get upset. And we see a pass to Anthony Richardson to Josh Downs there. Brings up a 2nd and 3, but there is a flag on the play. Might see a penalty there. Always when you see a player's helmet off, it always indicates hands to the face. Tommy DeVito hands the ball off. Looks like to the running back there. Britt makes the tackle. Just a rough day at the Meadowlands. And they're probably going to call that on one of the best offensive linemen in football, Quentin Nelson there. I mean, Quentin Nelson, definitely one of the best. I think if Saints had a left guard like that, they'll be okay. Anthony Richardson on a 1st and 18. Backs against the wall here. They send pressure, throws the ball down the field. That pass is caught by Michael Pittman Jr. And Michael Pittman on a 1st and 18 is able to convert to the Detroit Lions right now. And by the way, those black helmets by the Colts look pretty doggone good. Wendell Robinson gets the ball, and he's able to get a few yards. So credit to the Giants trying to sustain the drive, put a drive together. Getting close, getting close to try to probably put some points on the board. They are in the red zone right now. Tommy DeVito throws, and that's incomplete. Tried to get the ball to Malik Neighbors. So I'm pretty sure somebody came to him and said, man, let's try to get Malik Neighbors to football, which they should because he's pretty doggone good. So is anybody like sitting here? Is anybody sitting here like, eating their lunch or having a snack? And if you are, put it in the chat. What are you eating right now? I'm actually eating some of these. This is actually some of my favorite. As I see the running back for the Giants, he carries the football there. Tracy gets a few yards on the play. But I'm actually eating Indiana popcorn, man. It's some of my favorite popcorn here, man. Only a few places like actually sell them, but they actually taste like movie theater popcorn. So this is like one of my like little guilty pleasures. I'm a huge popcorn eater. I love popcorn, man. So what is your snack of choice for those that are eating? Jason says Domino pizza with honey barbecue wings. Now there ain't nothing wrong with that. Chips and pico, ain't nothing wrong with that. Says I'm on lunch eating spicy sweet chili Doritos. Hey, sound good to me. What I love is, man, I don't know, maybe I was like one of those folks, only people, but this is when you could actually do this. But growing up, you go to the candy lady house. It was somebody who sold candy out of their house. And one thing that she used to sell was the grab bag of Doritos with nacho cheese in it. And the cheese was hot. You just pour it in a bag, man. Man, that's some good eating right there. And it looks like there was a fumble on the play. The New York Giants look like they fumbled on a play. They're saying that he was down by contact. And Brian Daboll just nodding his head like, my goodness, we can't do anything right. And let's see. Tried to fight for extra yards, and it's pretty close. Looked like he may have been down by contact. They go at the legs of Michael Parsons, and Michael Parsons looked like he's in pain. I don't know, man. Michael Parsons, this has not been a good year for him, but I think it has a lot to do with the contract. I think it has a lot to do with the contract situation. You know, you're paying Dak, you paid CeeDee Lamb, and he didn't get paid. But I tell you what, if the Saints didn't pay $150 million to one quarterback, I know maybe, just maybe, you could have got yourself an opportunity to maybe around this time in 2025, maybe to acquire a guy like Michael Parsons if the Cowboys didn't pay him. But I digress. 1st and 20 for Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. And yes, I know Derek Carr is playing good this season, so no need to tell me. But still, the handoff, they try to give it off to Robinson there, or Austin Eckler, and he goes nowhere. So the Dallas Cowboys, whose defense has struggled against the run all season, they seem like they're up to the challenge today, shutting down Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler. TJ, I'm on the reefer. If that's the case, then you should be eating some. If that's the case, you should have the snacks. Jaden Daniels throws the ball down the field, and that pass is caught. And it is short of the first down, but they're able to get some of those yards back. And that's Brown, the former Dallas Cowboy, right there. Brown, who spent some time with the Dallas Cowboys, made some plays, came over when Dan Quinn became the head coach. So, and I'm pretty sure they're missing him badly right now. 3rd and 3 for the Washington Commanders. Brown in motion. Hand the ball off. No, it's a keeper, and Jaden Daniels is able to run and get the first down on the RPO action. So now they're looking to see, and yes, that looks like a fumble. That looks like a fumble. Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the struggles continue for the New York Football Giants. Big Southern Pride said cheese puffs. It's a big bag roll call. Always the candy lady in the neighborhood. Yeah. And that pass right there to Jordan Addison. Addison going down the sidelines, and man, unbelievable. He stays in bounds and gets another 30 yards on the play. Always the candy lady in the neighborhood. Says, man, who's talking about big bags in here? Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with a little snack on a Sunday afternoon watching a football game. Like I said, I'm eating popcorn right now. Ain't nobody barbecuing. Nobody going in and out the door or sitting outside. Barbecue, I know it's a little chilly in some places right now. So, but here go Jaden Daniels on the keeper, tries to get around the side, almost beats Michael Parsons to the edge, but Michael Parsons is able to get down there to the, and force him out of bounds. So Michael Parsons, man, I mean, all over the place. All over the place still. Been active since missing a few games, dealing with some injuries there. But he's able to chase him out of bounds enough to he couldn't turn the corner to get the first down. And Jaden Daniels gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So Jaden Daniels is able to scramble and get himself a touchdown. So you had to believe that RPO was going to pay off eventually. And knowing that the Saints got to play this guy in a couple of weeks, man, you don't want to see this. And we know what their issues is when it comes to these running quarterbacks. So Jaden Daniels is able to get into the end zone to hopefully give the Washington Commanders a 10-3 lead. Baker Mayfield scrambled and able to get the first down. So Tampa right now is doing whatever they want to do to the New York Giants. And a lot of these guys are like, man, you know, you have to wonder if checking out is going to be that issue. And also, you got to wonder how safe is the general manager and also the head coach, Brian Daboll, for the Giants. So he passed the ball off to Sterling Shepard there, gets a few yards on the play. Once again, 23-0. 23-0. Detroit Lions got the ball again. It's time. Play action. Jared Goff scrambles. He tries to throw the ball, and they're saying it's a fumble, but it looked like he tried to shovel pass. But to me, you know, I still think that's intentional grounding. And we see, is that Nephi Sewell on it? No, not Nephi. Sewell, Penei Sewell, the brother of Nephi Sewell, the linebacker for the Saints. All right, so here we go. There's a pass. Cade Otton gets the ball. There's a flag on a play. I don't know. Maybe that play is going to come back. Maybe there's a holding call there. But Cade Otton was able to get a few yards on the play as we also take a look at the Minnesota Vikings. Trying to hand the ball off to Aaron Jones. And, I mean, he is absolutely stuffed in the backfield by Coward and company. So they get some lost yards on that play. And they're taking a look at Jordan Addison to see if he actually stayed in bounds. And that's one of the main reasons why you wear white shoes. So when you have to catch those passes, they can't tell if those are the shoes or is that the line. So smart on his behalf to be spatted up. Second and goal. Sam Darnold in the gun, looking, and he is sacked. So back-to-back negative plays for the Minnesota Vikings. They were pretty close to the end zone, and now they're going backwards. Now it's third and goal after a loss of yardage by Aaron Jones, and now a sack by Sam Darnold. But wait for the defenders to keep Sam Darnold in the pocket, not giving him opportunity to step up. And he had to hold on to the football. He had to eat that sack. So here we go. We're looking at the Carolina Panthers on the second down. Also, to the left, we're looking at the Minnesota Vikings on the third and goal. Sam Darnold in the gun, looking, throws the ball, and it is tipped at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up a fourth down. So you're not able to cash it in with a touchdown, but there's a flag on the play. There's a flag. So let's see what's going on there. We also see the Carolina Panthers in the red zone themselves. Here's the handoff. Give it off to Chuba Hubbard, fighting for extra yards to get the first down. Tried to get a little bit of extra. Was able to get an extra yard after the first down there. But nonetheless, it is a first down for the Carolina Panthers. And they're still able to get another first down on this drive if they get 10 yards. So Chuba Hubbard, who got the contract extension a few weeks ago, still running hard. Very underrated as a running back in the NFL. Definitely a talented guy, one of the bright spots of his offense. So Chuba Hubbard, 24 yards today, was kept in check, has been kept in check today by the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess they feel like if you're going to beat us, Bryce Young is going to have to do it. So hand the ball off to Hubbard again. Hubbard trying to get around the side. He gets there, but he is tackled before he can get to the first down. Gets a few yards on the play. So once again, Chuba Hubbard. They're relying on him to be an integral part of of the Carolina Panthers offense. He is carrying the load and has been throughout the losing streak, throughout the bad games. He has been the guy they have been leaning on. It has not been his fault, that they've been playing as bad as they have. He has been the bright spot. We see Adam Thielen in motion. So Adam Thielen is back in the lineup, missing a few weeks. Hands the ball off once again to Chuba Hubbard. Gets around the side, and he is tackled. So he was short, but he's close to the first down. He only has like 1 yard to go, and the struggles continue for the Tennessee Titans, man. I mean, the Titans continue to fumble all over themselves, fumbling the football. So here we go right here. Tennessee Titans, long field goal, snap, placement, kick on the way. Nick Kinfolk with the 51-yard touchdown. Field goal, 51-yard field goal, Nick Kinfolk. Nick Folk been in the league forever. All right, so here we go. In motion, more in motion. Tried to grow the ball. I don't like this play. And Bryce Young tried to get the first down. I don't think he's got it. I think he was short, but, he tried to do everything he can. Little action, little screen pass to David Montgomery. Takes the big hit, keeps fighting, and gets the first down. That is one of those hits that is just pure adrenaline, and he's going to feel that in the morning. So Jahmyr Gibbs just right up the middle. So it looks like the Detroit Lions are trying to flex their muscle a little bit. This is during the time where, teams kind of stay lock and step, and then the Detroit Lions kind of show you that there's levels to this. So here we go. 4th and 1 for the Carolina Panthers. They hand the ball off to Hubbard, and Hubbard is able to get the first down. He didn't get into the end zone, but he did get the first down on the play. So credit to the Carolina Panthers, man. I mean, continuing to fight against the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs thought that the Carolina Panthers would give them this type of game right now. So I think he got it, though. But we know they playing the Chiefs, and, when you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, we know that the refs are not your friend. 14-6, Detroit Lions threatening in the red zone. Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. Jamison Williams in motion. This pass is caught. That's by Tim Patrick. He gets a few yards on the play. So here we go. I would assume they're going to hand this ball off to Chuba Hubbard once again. But instead, they go play action, tries to throw the ball, and that is knocked away by Trent McDuffie. So Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers trying to show a little bit of trickery right there. I think everybody thought that maybe Chuba Hubbard would get the ball. Instead, they go play action. He tries to get the ball to Moore, but is knocked away by one of the best cornerbacks in the game, Trent McDuffie. 3rd and goal for the Detroit Lions as the clock ticks. 3, 2, 1. And they get the ball off in time. They give it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs bounces to the outside, and you bet your bottom dollar is a touchdown. What a talented young guy right there. And it's a pass, and it is it caught? And it's a touchdown. So Bryce Young to David Moore for the touchdown. And we also see Rachaad White get into the end zone for the touchdown. So is now 29-0 over the New York Football Giants. And that was on Trent McDuffie. So you got David Moore able to get a touchdown on one of the best corners in the game in Trent McDuffie. So now we see that Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers are going for 2. And you have to be encouraged. Nobody expected for Carolina to look the way that they have today. So, and y'all know I ain't got nothing bad to say about the Panthers in 2024. I mean, they did God's work by getting that boy, by getting Dennis Allen up out of here. Oh, it's almost caught, but that is a flag right there. So I don't know. There's a flag on the play. I think it may be on Reed. I'm not quite sure, but they might try to flag him for a helmet to helmet. I don't know about that being helmet to helmet, but you're just trying to make a play. That was a big hit, man. That would have been a tough one. But they're probably gonna say a personal foul. Yes, personal foul. I don't know. I think he got more chest than helmet. I think he got more chest than helmet, but hey, it's not always, it's not every day that we see flags go against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Cooper Rush throws the ball, and that is caught. And that's caught by Jalen Tolbert there. So the Dallas Cowboys, man, hanging tough with the Washington Commanders, and a field goal will give them the lead. There we go. And there's a false start right there. So you had opportunity to go for two, pretty much close to the 2-yard line there, but now gotta see if this was false start. If there was a false start, you get your 5 yards back. I assume you're still going to go for 2. You're giving it saying it's a false start against the Carolina Panthers, so a 5-yard penalty there. So now you gotta think, but I don't think they're going to do much thinking. I mean, when Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback on the opposite side, you got to go for it. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, in my opinion, like I'm just not impressed. And I'll always say, and I've been saying this, I never seen a quarterback with the personality of Caleb Williams work in the National Football League, where they just so arrogant and full of themselves. I just never seen it work. I just never seen it work. So they're going to decide to bring out Pinheiro for an extra point attempt. So had an opportunity. And Dave Canales, I mean, you could tell on his face at first he was like, man, F. And then when he seen David Moore, like, yeah, he knew what that false start meant. You were trying to play it off. That was funny though. If you can go and rewind, just look at his facial expression before David Moore came over there and he embraced. He was like, man, dang. He know Patrick Mahomes on the other side. But hey, man, you got to be impressed with Bryce Young. I mean, he's out there gambling. He's out there gambling and winning right now. He looks way more confident. He looks more sure of himself. So I think there's a lot that the Carolina Panthers can be optimistic about. Man, people are calling this man a bust, saying that he can't play, saying he's too small. But right now, the Carolina Panthers are hanging tough with the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. Up kick, and that is good. So they add 1 to the board, 20-16. I did not expect this game to look the way it did. And a little trickeration right there. And that was just a disaster. I don't know what was going on with that. They tried to get a ball to Ramondre Stevenson. Tried to give it to Stevenson on that play. It just didn't work. Been a story of the New England Patriots. And Anthony Richardson, man, fighting for extra yards, breaking tackles, getting down the field. I mean, big physical guy right there. You never want to see your your quarterback, your starting quarterback, lowering his shoulder like he Tim Tebow in college or something. But I mean, it's Anthony Richardson we talking about here. So big physical quarterback. 21-6. Flea flicker. Nope. Throws it down the field and nope, hits the dirt. Could have worked if he actually threw the ball to him in his hand. So the flea flicker was a little bit too low. Taylor just threw the ball to him a little bit too low, hit the ground. So we got Khalif Raymond and also David Montgomery looked like his shoulder pads off. So like I said, I know exactly what hit that was. It was that hit where he broke off and ran for a couple of. I said that was that adrenaline. That was that adrenaline run right there. You don't feel that like when the adrenaline is high. You don't feel that. But when that adrenaline go down, boy, it feels like whoo. TJ over there smacking on them peanuts. No, I'm not. I'm smacking on popcorn. I'm smacking on popcorn. So let's see. They actually called the penalty on Kansas City. I'm shocked. You ain't lying. Yeah, you are not lying. I'm smacking on popcorn. So if you hit me smacking them, I'm eating popcorn. Yeah, the touchdown Panthers. TJ, I hate to see Shadur behind that little Giants O-line. He holds the ball too long for that. Also, those refs screwed them boys in that Kansas game. Props to Kansas, but they had assistance. Yeah, man. I mean, that hit that he took, I mean, that at his lower extremities, I mean, that guy was just, he wasn't even trying to go at his chest or anything like that. He going strictly at them legs. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't see how that guy was still in the game. I don't see how the ref didn't call a flag on it. I don't. Jalen Naylor tried to catch the ball. Is it caught? Hand was underneath, but I don't know. Tried to get the ball there to Zach Ertz. Sails over his head. So Jaden Daniels 0 for 4. And that ball is tipped on a 3rd and 7, incomplete. So that's going to bring up 4th down. So the Dallas Cowboys get off the field. So Golson got his hands on the football. Jaden Daniels tried to throw the ball around him, but he just couldn't do it. You have to believe if the Dallas Cowboys win this football game, this is a little bit of an upset. Turpin tries to do it. He's one of the best returners in the game, but couldn't do anything. And they're doing the thumbs down thing. So to me, looked like something else somebody didn't stole from the Saints. I ain't see other teams doing thumbs down. But anyway, Will Levis throws the ball to Pollard. I don't know, man. The connection between Pollard and Levis has been off this game. I mean, every time they flash to this game, it always seems like it's just bad communication between the two guys. Anthony Richardson and Detroit Lions, and the Colts go for it on 4th and 8. He's running, he's scrambling. This is going to be a flag, pretty much. It's going to be holding. Yeah, but that they're probably going to call holding on that play. Yep. When you see guys, rolling to the right, and and that's when guys start grabbing and stuff. Patrick Mahomes, 1st and 10, looking, throws the ball down the field, and tried to get it to Travis Kelce, but Xavier Woods on the coverage there. So credit to the Carolina Panthers, man. Gotta give them credit. And they hanging tough. Nobody expect for them to win, but the fact that they looking like this. Travis Kelce has not been himself, but he normally comes on during the playoff. That's when he starts to emerge again. All right, so here we go. Patrick Mahomes on the 2nd and 10, looking, and tried to get the ball to Justin Ross. That pass is thrown and caught. Well, thought it was caught. Looked like he got it by the legs. But yeah, Taylor Williams throws it to Cole Kmet. So they're going to call pass interference on J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn does not like the penalty. I'm ready for Thanksgiving, food, cold cuts until Thursday. I see. I know a lot of people, making their way to the gym trying to burn off them calories that they gonna have for Thanksgiving. I'm one of them. I'm at the burn. I mean, popcorn is a relatively healthy snack. TJ, how often does coach? Oh, I think I already read that one. I think I already read it. Or it's TJ, how often does coaching philosophies make uber talented players look like bust? I think it plays a huge role, but unfortunately, King Arthur, organizations don't look at it that way. They feel like if a guy isn't everything they're supposed to be, it's on that player. But that's just like any organization. Like the organizations are never going to throw themselves under the bus. They're gonna always throw the player under the bus. That's just how it goes, man. So a lot of our philosophies and our thought patterns about players, I feel like are not fair because we never like really pay attention to the organization because the organization is not going to allow you to do so. I mean, when you have like, different reporters and different people that follow the team and cover the team, I'm not saying everybody, but those guys don't want to lose that access. And, sometimes they will do the organization's bidding, to make sure that they continue their access and continue their position. So they'll go out there and put that hit piece out. They'll put that hit piece out on that player. They'll say that player didn't show up on time. They'll say that player, threw 2 interceptions at practice, that was closed off to the public and all that, And I think it has a lot to do with the organizations, but they'll never say it. They'll never admit that. If they admit that, that would mean that they're not good at what they do, which if you look, they're not in some cases. Like, how is it that the Jets can't never seem to find a franchise quarterback, or the Dolphins, or some of these other organizations that it's just a carousel. It's just a quarterback carousel every single year, 2 years. Same old issues, same old song and dance. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm really no good games today. It's really no good games today. I don't know, Alfred. I think I see some pretty decent games. I mean, you may not like this team, but I think the Cowboys and the Commanders game is pretty good. I mean, sometimes these games are going to be defensive struggles, and this Carolina Kansas City game is much more competitive than expected. I think the issue is, Alfred, is that we're watching these games without an invested interest in it. The Saints are on a bye week. If the Saints won or lost a game today, then we will probably here they go with the flags. Now they calling unsportsmanlike conduct. Now they trying to make this thing competitive. I say now they trying to get a Chiefs that little assist that they got. They doing too good, y'all. Y'all doing too good. Y'all not the Buffalo Bills. Y'all not Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Yeah, that's not y'all. So y'all, they ain't gonna let y'all just play. They can't have Patrick Mahomes losing to no Carolina Panthers. Come on, man, knock it off. But I was just saying you don't have an emotional investment in these teams, and there's not anything pretty much at stake here. All right, Patrick Mahomes, he tried to flip it, and Kareem Hunt can stay in bounds, but Kareem Hunt career having a little bit of resurgence since he came to Kansas City. CJ Stroud looking, and that's intercepted. My goodness. CJ Stroud having a rough day today. I want to say that's like his third turnover. 2nd and goal for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Get the ball, looking, and I'm pretty sure he's going to try to scramble on that. And it's caught for the touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. So DeAndre Hopkins gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So you had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that gave them a fresh set of downs. You can talk about Mahomes all you want to. Everybody ain't making that throw. This man jumped up in the air. Homie jumped up in the air and threw the ball on a rope. So there you go, 27-16. So DeAndre Hopkins coming back to the Carolinas, where he played ball at Clemson, and gets himself a touchdown. Louisiana Steph said, happy Thanksgiving. Jesus is amazing. I agree, brother. Rico Payton did the thumbs down. It's really no good games today. I think I read pretty much all these. Thank you all for watching this Red Zone watch along. The first slate of games here, and that pass is intercepted by Will Levis, and that is going to be a pick six. Shouty touchdown. The Houston Texans. Jimmy Ward, former San Francisco 49er. And CJ Stroud, every time he makes a mistake, the defense comes right back and just bails him out. And you can tell his quarterbacks coaches on the sidelines talking to him, saying they got your back. Jimmy Ward sat there, and Will Levis did not see him underneath, and he took that thing to the house. And this has been a knock on Will Levis throughout his collegiate career, turning over the football and the most inopportune and just unnecessary times. Like, you cannot turn the football over at these particular moments. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Texans take the lead with 4 seconds left in the third quarter. Tommy DeVito and the Giants finally get it to the end zone. Devin Singletary in there for the touchdown. Finally, points are in the Meadowlands for the Giants. There you go. Jalen Waddle. And he gets into the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. So now the Dolphins are up 31-0 after a Jalen Waddle 23-yard touchdown catch. So a lot of exciting games. You know, you have the Titans and the Texans. That's an exciting game. I mean, you got the Cowboys and the Commanders there in a defensive struggle. And, I mean, the Carolina Panthers are hanging tough. I mean, if they can somehow get some points on the board and drive down the field, score a touchdown, hey, who knows? Ain't no way in hell Kansas City about to let the Panthers beat them, but you never know in the NFL. Tiffany, I think you never know in the NFL unless you played against the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no way that the NFL, with the Chiefs with a lead, they're going to try to allow Patrick Mahomes to get embarrassed by the Carolina Panthers. Y'all already see. I know y'all seen that. I know y'all seen it. Like, Panthers playing too good, and all of a sudden here come the ticky-tack unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Like, who calling that? Like, literally, who calling unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in the middle of a game like that? You rarely ever hear that unless it's just like completely egregious. Like, they on the sidelines brawling, fighting. Like, they'll try to separate the guys, but the Chiefs, nah, we gonna call that right then and there. And the thing about it is that some of the calls are justified, but they don't call them in a grand scheme of things. They will probably let those plays go. Yeah, probably let them go. They'll probably be like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think we good, man. I think we straight. They'll say something like that. You know, but when it comes to the Chiefs, oh my goodness, unsportsmanlike. Oh, and he touched the ball, and now the Minnesota Vikings, my goodness, the Chicago Bears just completely continue to implode. I mean, and just cost themselves football games. Unbelievable. And that was just a really good defensive play by Butler for the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, they came to play, man. He tried to get the ball off to Brown, and Brown had the ball like right in his face, but just wasn't able to get his hands underneath. Sam Darnold throws the ball. That's caught by Aaron Jones. He throws it behind him, and that's a loss of yards. That was a bad pass by Sam Darnold. Threw it behind Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones had to reach behind him And those are precious seconds right there. You gotta throw the ball in front of Aaron Jones. You can't throw it behind him. You got to throw it in front of him where he could actually have a little stride going. That was not a good screen pass by Sam Darnold. But it's 2nd and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings in the red zone. They lead by 7, trying to add to this lead, trying to go up by 2 touchdowns. And this can be huge in a game like this. Sam Darnold hands the ball off to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones gets up the field, gets a few yards, gets about 5 on the play. And now that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. So you were able to get a lucky break on a muff punt there. Kevin O'Connell, I would believe, depending on how many yards they get on his 3rd down, if they actually don't convert, but they get a few yards, you would probably think they will go for it on 4th down. Teams have a tendency, like when they have those turnovers like this, to be a little bit more aggressive and look at things more 4th down territory. Throws the ball, that's caught. Don't even have to worry about what I just said, because Jordan Addison with the 1st down. Jordan Addison is having a monster game today, and you definitely want that when teams are starting to kind of zero in on Justin Jefferson. And here we go. Bucky Irvin again, stiff arms, goes down the middle. He's gone. And you got Baker Mayfield trying to throw a block. Bucky Irvin is just completely and utterly just destroying the New York Football Giants today. Like, he is having a monster game. And here we go. Aaron Jones almost got through. He almost got through. So here we go. Bryce Young, 45 seconds. We take a look. Bryce Young, they send the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. And it is caught by David Moore. Man, David Moore has been coming up clutch every time they pan in to the Carolina Panthers Kansas City Chiefs game. Once again, you got to give credit to the Carolina Panthers. I mean, and Baker Mayfield up the field, man, making blocks, throwing blocks. Aaron Jones up the gut for the touchdown, and that is going to add to the Minnesota Vikings lead. Aaron Jones has not been the same running back he was in Green Bay, but still has been providing sparks when necessary. Will Levis on a 3rd and 26 hands the ball off to Tony Pollard on a draw play. Tony Pollard gets as much as he can, but it's still going to bring up 4th down. Nowhere near the 1st down mark, so they're going to have to punt. But lucky for them, the defense has been playing well. And Will Levis holding on to the ball too long, not making the necessary adjustments there, and not throwing the ball away. You got to be smarter. I understand being a gamer, and there was a holding on offense. So not only did you get the sack, there was a holding penalty, which was declined. So as we see the slate of games, it's the 4th quarter. Games are getting a little tight. A lot of division games going on with the Bears. You got the Bears playing against Minnesota. And, you got the Cowboys playing against the Commanders. So you got some of these games that mean something. I mean, in the month of late November, early December. We've seen the playoff rankings. These games matter. They definitely matter now. Oh, and able to get Jahmyr Gibbs on the ground. This guy is very explosive, man. If you get your hands on it, you got to make sure that you definitely hold on. So David Montgomery, who had his shoulder pads off and helmet off, thought that he would have been done for the day. I think you have to think about possibly not allowing him to come back into the game. I think you should be okay with Jahmyr Gibbs running the football and throwing the football. And if you can score one more time, I don't think you need to see David Montgomery again. Give you opportunity to not have to use him as much. He said Baker Cutlets. Yeah, Baker Mayfield out there balling. out there going. I mean, that kind of stuff right there, man, they get you fired up if you're a team on Monday when you're watching film. When you're watching your quarterback run down the field, make tackles, I guarantee you, like when the Cleveland Browns, I don't know if they checked out the film because I'm pretty sure they probably had the weekend off. But when they come back and they look at that film, man, they're gonna be fired up when they see Jameis Winston, after he threw the ball to Cedric Tillman, it tipped up in the air and got picked off, and he was the first person down there to make a tackle. That stuff fire you up, man. That fire you up as a team. Watching your quarterback, not be no diva, and then go out there and getting his hands dirty too. As we take a look at the Detroit Lions about to punt, something that you rarely ever see them do. And he takes it, a fair catch by Josh Downs. So now we have Anthony Richardson. And we also take a look at the Carolina Panthers on the 1st and 10, Bryce Young. And the Carolina Panthers once again in the red zone. So the Carolina Panthers are not going away. They are not going away. And I think that even the Kansas City Chiefs have to be a little bit shocked by the development. Being this close in a game with the Carolina Panthers. And they hand the ball off to Chuba Hubbard. He keeps the feet churning. Gets a few extra yards. Not much, but still able to get maybe 3 yards on the play. So on the 2nd and 7. And can you imagine what a win like this could do for the Carolina Panthers? I mean, can you imagine? And I mean, you still got opportunity to play other teams in the South. All right, Bryce Young looking, throws it to Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard goes up the field and gets a few yards. All right, so this is going to bring up a 3rd down. And you have to believe this is 4th down territory. You do not want to get a ball back to Patrick Mahomes kicking field goals. Cooper Rush, 20 of 26, 196 yards and a touchdown on a 3rd and 9. Here we go. They bring in everybody. But wait a minute. Hold the phone. Is there a timeout? All right, looked like there was a timeout on the play. All right, so 3rd and 5 for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, trailing 27 to 16. And it's going to be now 3rd and 10. False start. Tried to hand the ball off to Rachaad White, and there was just a misconnection. And the Giants look like they got the ball. Baker Mayfield slow to get up. Don't know exactly what happened there. Looked like he's in some pain. So let's hope that old Baker's okay. So on a false start, that is not what you want. Like I said, you're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. You want to make as little mistakes as possible. So here we go, 3rd and 10. Snapped, throws the ball. That is caught by Tremble, if I'm not mistaken. But it's still short of the 1st down. If you would have caught, and if you didn't have that false start, then you would have had the 1st down by Tony Tremble. But instead, now it's 4th down. Now it's decision time. Are you going to go for it? To me, I mean, if it was me, I'd go for it. I mean, you playing with house money right now. Nobody's, and I mean, Drake Majors threw the pass down the field. I mean, to Austin Hooper. All right, so they decided to kick the field goal. So a 33-yard field goal attempt by Pinheiro is good. So they pull a little bit closer to the Kansas City Chiefs, but you have to wonder, or do you need to be kicking field goals against Patrick Mahomes? CJ Stroud sacked. And they have been coming after CJ Stroud. I mean, Sweat and crew have been all over him. The defense of the Tennessee Titans have come to play. This has been one of the most confusing games for CJ Stroud as a professional. I mean, not really used to seeing him make these type of decisions, not seeing him under this type of duress. The Tennessee Titans, they have sacked C.J. Stroud 8 times. 8 times. And what a good play right there. Good play by the defender for the Commanders. All right, so here we go. Sam Donald in the play action, in the action. Throws the ball down the field, and that was a great catch by T.J. Hockenson. And there's a flag on the play. And he's going to talk his stuff. He's going to pop his ish, if you will. But there's a holding on the defense, and I'm pretty sure they're going to decline that penalty. So right now, Chicago Bears continue to implode. You have to think about what is the status and, the coaching status of Matt Eberflus. And my goodness, a muff punt by the Tennessee Titans. If I am the defense of the Tennessee Titans, I am going to this locker room, if we lose this football game, very disturbed. They're doing everything they can to try to win this football game for them. Aaron Jones carries the ball up the middle, gets about 7 yards on the play. I'm very upset. Every time the Tennessee Titans, they force a turnover. Will Levis throws a pick 6. They sack C.J. Stroud, get the ball back. They fumble in the snap. And now they get them off the field after their 8th sack of the game, and special teams muffed the punt. Unbelievable. And Aaron Jones tried to get some extra yards. He's not even getting back to the line of scrimmage there. So that's a loss of yards, but there's a flag on the play. The flag. And it's holding on offense. So it's 2nd down. And we see the New York Football Giants fans, they are filing towards the exits. They have seen enough. Time to get home and warm up. No need for us to be out here risking getting flu, pneumonia, common cold, because our team sucks. 30-7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Football Giants. The New York Football Giants are a disaster right now, folks. Got to feel bad for the New York fan base. They deserve better. I mean, between the Yankees losing in the World Series, the Mets getting close and heartbroken because they didn't get there, the Jets not being what you want them to be, the Knicks not being what you want them to be, and now the Giants. Yeah, pretty rough stuff right there. Jaden Daniels on the 2nd and 8 gives the ball off to Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler tries to get around the sidelines, but gets nothing, basically nothing. He gets about a yard there. Sam Donald, ball on a 40, or the 47-yard line there, and he throws the ball, and that is caught by Jordan Addison, who was having a monster game. Not really hearing that much from Justin Jefferson today, so you got to give credit to Chicago in that regard. Not really seeing much. TJ, what radio station is it that you work for? I forget. I work for 90.9 FM, WLGI, out in Hemingway, South Carolina. You hear me on the air from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every single day. Yeah, every single day, because my afternoon shows are pre-recorded. I don't know exactly what that was. He tried to get it to his former Ohio State teammate, Stober. And he's trying to tell him. He told him, you should have just dropped it, because by him catching that pass is a loss of yards. Winston looked good. I was happy for him, says Tiff. Yeah, Tiff. I was happy for Jameis too. And there's this debate going on when people were talking about, man, Jameis needs to go, and this, that. My whole argument is, why? Why are you saying this? Okay, what gives you that? What has it? I didn't want to turn this into something about Derek Carr, but you got to ask the question, what has Derek Carr done that you feel like Jameis couldn't do? Derek Carr can't win big games. Derek Carr has, underachieved. The Saints haven't made the playoffs with Derek Carr. So my thing is, when people are talking about, man, Jameis Winston, we wouldn't have had what do the Saints have with Derek Carr? That's why I say, man, people just hate us. Like, you ain't win. Like, if you're gonna sit up here and say you ain't gonna win none with Jameis Winston, you ain't winning none with Derek Carr either, and everybody knows it. So my thing is, if you got two guys that have some issues and nobody feels like you're gonna win with either one of them the way that you want to, or win anything of any significance, why pay on one guy over $100 million for the same situation when you're paying Jameis probably about 14? You probably at best you probably would have paid Jameis between 17 to 20 a year. So it just didn't make sense to me. And it doesn't make sense to me, people arguing, going back and forth about Derek Carr, who has not won anything for the New Orleans Saints, and just up here talking about completion percentages. Like, who cares? Like, at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares about complete? Oh, well, he completing so many percentages of his passes. He one of the top quarterbacks when it comes to touchdown and interception rate. Who cares? If your team's still not making a playoff, if your team still not beating the teams that are competitive in the National Football League, the teams that they're gonna play in the playoffs, who cares? Like, I could do that for cheap. I'm just saying, man. Like, if you don't go I'm just saying, if you don't go anywhere but to the house and to the local downtown grocery store every day, every day, why in the world would you go out here and let's just say the car that you drive there is like a 2007 Buick, right? Why would you go and get yourself a 2025 Buick? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, you doing it in style? You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy, you looking good driving down that street. Where you going? To the store? That don't make sense. So to me, I'm like, you could have took that $150 million. You could have took that money and did something with it. Like, maybe added another wide receiver. Maybe you could have got T. Higgins. Maybe you could have got another pass rush. That man in some pain. DeVito looks like he's in some pain, folks. That's all I'm saying. Like, it just don't make sense. People arguing, going back and forth about two quarterbacks. With all due respect, both of them have a reputation of not being apart, and teams feel like they can't get to their ultimate goal with them. So if you talking about that, then I'd rather go with the guy for the cheap. And you had him in the building. TJ, I'll take a talent and risk taking like Jameis over Carr any day. Drew was a combination of Jameis and the efficiency Carr like to hang his hat on. An efficient gunslinger. Yeah. I mean, people debate about Derek Carr, and their argument is about his efficiency. And yes, he is an efficient quarterback, but where's that efficiency getting you is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not like, my thing is, I'm not trying to pay any money for something that's not going to get me more results than I've already gotten. Like, Derek Carr haven't gotten you, like, you were sitting up here missing the playoffs with Trevor Siemian. You was up here missing the playoffs, with Jameis. You was up here missing, like, I don't know, man. You was up there missing the playoffs. So why spend that type of money when you can go out here, miss the playoff, but at least you can have some other players on your team that can actually make you more competitive? You would have won some football games with Jameis Winston. People act like the same would have been like, oh man, they got, hey, okay. Boy, JC Horn on the blitz. All right, so here we go. Aubrey up and good. So Aubrey with the field goal. There's a flag on the play. And I guarantee you that the Kansas City Chiefs didn't feel like this game was going to be as competitive. I'm shocked right now. I'm shocked. But you got to be extremely optimistic if you're a Carolina Panther fan after watching his team perform like this. I mean, this guy's wide open. And he's going to take this to the house for the touchdown. My goodness. So, looked like a busted coverage right there. And Okongwu, the tight end, takes it down the field. I mean, you got to be impressed by a guy that size. Well, he's a wide receiver, but he has nice size to him. He was able to move, like he catches the ball and just gets the yards after the catch. A broken tackle right there. He tries to go after his legs. I mean, and he just takes it. House call. So busted coverage there by the Houston Texans. That kick is up and good. So Tennessee Titans now have a 3-point lead over the Houston Texans, and they continue to fight. And Caleb Williams just completely throws a laser to Cole Kmet. All right, and that's a good tackle right there by Murphy on Cole Kmet right there. So that brings up 4th down. So here we go. Jake Bates, 56-yard field goal, up, high enough, long enough, and good. Keep in mind, I think this dude was going to be some type of carpenter or insurance broker or something like that before he got the call to be the kicker for the Detroit Lions. So right now, this man living a dream. Matt Eberflus and the Chicago Bears offense decide to go for it. And here we go. Keenan Allen in motion. Clock ticking. Caleb Williams looking. Jumps over a guy. Scrambles. Gets the first down. And gets out of bounds. Pretty impressive stuff right there by Caleb Williams. He had an offensive lineman on the ground. He jumps over him. He cheering. Dude, you down 24-10, and you still, I don't know. I don't know about Caleb Williams, man. I don't know about this guy. Like he seemed like somebody that you'll want to get in a fight with. Like just because I don't know, he just rubs me the wrong way. I just don't like his personality. Like the things that I don't know him personally, but just based on some of the things I see, I can see it can be an issue to some guys. But anyway, he throws it to his fellow draft mate there, Roma Doomsday. He gets a few yards on the play. Ironically, Chantel. Okay, so Chantel says TJ, the Panthers are a touchdown behind the Chiefs, Kansas City Swifties. It's ironic, and as DJ Moore runs in for the touchdown there, it's ironic. You was talking about that, and my wife, I can hear her playing. I can hear her playing "Shake It Off" in the background. It's just when you was making that comment, I can hear "Shake It Off" in the background by Taylor Swift. Wow. Can't make that stuff up. Stay the Same podcast, TJ, is the station anywhere near Scott's Barbecue in Hemingway. Yeah, I mean, Scott's Barbecue is not that far at all from the radio station. Like basically right up the road. It's probably maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe, something like that. It's not far at all. Scott's Barbecue is only open on 3 days a week. 27-19 Swifties. All right, 2-point conversion time for the Caleb Williams, and he tries to throw it up there to Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen looking at the ref like, come on, bro. Come on, man. He holding on. He holding. But Harrison Smith gets away with a hold there, but DJ Moore gets behind his blockers and just completely just walks into the end zone. All right, Jaden Daniels, it's do or die time. Throws the ball. That pass is caught, but by Bates and ends up falling, picked up by the Dallas Cowboys. So they got the first down, lost the ball. So rough day. Speaking of losing the ball, Christian Gonzalez gets his hands on the football, gets down the field, and takes it to the end zone for the touchdown. So Christian Gonzalez making his case. I mean, rookie season, had that injury, comes back, and now he's looked at as one of the best cornerbacks in the game right now. He's able to get some points on the board for his team. Throws the ball to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb caught. Gain tackle. So right now, if you are the Commanders, you have got to find a way to keep the Dallas Cowboys out of the end zone. And Cooper Rush has been playing well. Probably one of his best games of his career. 10 catches for 67 yards for CeeDee Lamb. So here we go. Lamb in motion. They hand the ball off to Rico Dowdle. Dowdle up the middle. Looking like Marion Barber right there. Ironically, wearing the same number. CJ Stroud. And that is the 9th sack on CJ Stroud. I mean, did CJ Stroud tick off his offensive line? Did he go full Willie Beeman? Went on somebody's show and said something he shouldn't have said. Bryce Young. I mean, they are disrespectful. They are disrespecting CJ Stroud today. Said, where Lattimore at? Lattimore ain't playing. He's still dealing with that hamstring injury. So America's game of the week, the Green Bay Packers against the San Francisco 49ers. Should be an interesting game. Should be a fun game to watch. Two teams that really need to continue to win. You're the 49ers. I mean, the NFC West is wide open right now. I think the Arizona Cardinals are leading the division. Got to keep winning. Here's the handoff. Rico Dowdle. Tweet kind of sneaks past the first line and gets a few yards on the play. Meanwhile, Will Levis under center on the 1st and 10. They're on their own, look like 5-yard line. And you got to make that the 3-yard line because that's a loss on the play. 3rd and 5 for the Dallas Cowboys. If we look at some of the offensive leaders there, like I said, Cooper Rush having a really good game today. He's in a gun on the 3rd and 5. He looks, he throws the ball, and a wide open Luke Schoonmaker in for the touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker, a guy that I kind of thought would have been a really good tight end for the Cowboys, but Jake Ferguson has been their guy, but Jake Ferguson out today, so that gave Luke Schoonmaker ample opportunities to be able to make plays, and he came through in a major way for the Dallas Cowboys and could give them a lead that can pretty much seal the deal for them. Ball on the 2-yard line for Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans on the 3rd and 14. He's in a gun. They get pressure. He throws the ball down the field, sells it, and that is incomplete. I mean, you can tell the wide receiver, he didn't even know where the ball was. So that's going to force them to punt. And unless the punter for the Tennessee Titans is going to boom one, This is going to give the Houston Texans the ball and some pretty good field, give them some pretty good field position. We see Sam Darnold running for his life. And I don't know, like he fell on his knee. That's always the worst right there. When somebody pulling you down. Man. And it looked like maybe his ankle got underneath the defender's arms. Man. What are you doing? Like, if you up here trying to die for the football and all that kind of stuff to try to get a fair catch, like, just let the ball drop. Just let the ball drop. We got a holding on the receiving team. So that's on Lassier, who was having a pretty good season. Really good complimentary number 2 guy at corner, for Derek Stingley, who was one of the best young corners in the game, former LSU Tiger. If the Cowboys win today, all of the fans coming out of hiding. I doubt it. I think the Cowboys kind of like how Saints fans felt. They just want Mike McCarthy gone. So I don't think they're going to be like singing the praises. I think they kind of want what we as Saints fans wanted to see them boys gone. But want to thank the fine folks at BETUS sponsoring this episode of the State of the Saints podcast, Gumbo Pie Sports Podcast, the NFL Red Zone watch along here. Saints are on a bye week in week 12, so we're watching some NFL games, watching the first slate of games, and I'm asking everybody to hit the like button. If you enjoy the State of the Saints podcast, Gumbo Pie Sports Podcast, please do. Looking at C.J. Stroud on a 1st and 10, been in a tough game for him, but good field position, and he throws it, and that's caught, and that's Nico Collins. And Nico Collins gets around the side, and Nico Collins gets into the end zone, and that's a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. And it might be a holding call on Joe Mixon. So this is as great as that play was, it might be coming back. Illegal shift. So it's a legal shift by the offense. So take those points off the board. Yeah, so you had 2 guys shift at the same time. You had 2 guys shift at the same time. You had Tank Dell shift as well as Joe Mixon. So you can't do that. You can't have 2 guys that shift at the same time. So now a really good play that would have got you a touchdown. Now you're back a few yards. Now he gives the ball off, hand off to Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon gets around the side. Been relatively quiet today. And Michael Parsons gets a sack on Jaden Daniels. So tough day at the office for Jaden Daniels, who's been playing really well as of late. He tries to throw the ball up the middle, and he climbs the ladder, and that pass is caught. But there's a flag on the play. And it might be on DeRyan Bland. And yes, it was. And that penalty was declined. So DeRyan Bland, pick 6 shorty himself, holds the NFL record for most pick 6s in a season. Called for a holding penalty on that play. Throws the ball, gives it to Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon fighting. Joe Mixon gets around the side. Joe Mixon continues to fight, and he gets down to about the 11-yard line. TJ James played a good game Thursday and beat the Steelers in a snow blizzard. Yeah, that was a fun game to watch. I actually enjoyed that game. It was before it started snowing. I think the snow kind of added the dynamic to it, though. Patrick Mahomes on the 3rd and 12. Goes around the side. Patrick Mahomes, and he will take the sack. The Carolina Panthers came to play in Carolina. Got Joe Mixon like he breathing heavy. I hope he ain't getting the football. Could be something. Let's see what happens here. Okay, it's off the play action. C.J. Stroud going around the side. Throws the ball out of bounds, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 10-yard penalty for a hold. CJ Stroud looked completely frustrated. You can tell. Like, he's not one of those people that, you can't really tell what he's thinking. All right, so here we go. Here's the run. Is that Rodriguez? No, that's Nichols right there. He gets out of bounds, gets shoved out of bounds. McNichols gets shoved out of bounds. And now, if you are the Washington Commanders, the clock is not your friend. You're trying to score as quickly as possible and try to find a way to get the ball back. 1st and 20. And this is one of those games that the Houston Texans win. They're going to look back, man. This is one of those games that are a defining game. Like, when nothing is going right, everything seems to go wrong. A lot of mistakes were made, but you still kind of you find a way to win. Those what good teams do. And that's a pass, and that caught by Zach Ertz for the touchdown. Jaden Daniels to Zach Ertz for the touchdown. All right, so here we go right here. Stover tried to cut up the field, got close. But here we go. You got 2 timeouts, the Washington Commanders. So you got that. You was able to score before the 2-minute. So now the Cowboys can get the ball back. It gives them an opportunity to try to do something, but they are going for 2. So you can kick the ball back to the Dallas Cowboys. You can try to get a 3 and out. But if the Cowboys are able to get a first down, then the game is pretty much over. So here's a timeout. Timeout by the Dallas Cowboys. Probably just wanted to see what the play design was in order for them to kind of adjust to that. Meanwhile, Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold throws the ball down the field. That is caught by TJ Hockenson, makes one guy miss, and he's tackled. Looks like around the 12-yard line. That's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Minnesota Vikings. So the Washington Commanders been a little bit of the cardiac Commanders this season. Games coming down to the wire. Late game heroics by Jaden Daniels. Does he have some more late game heroics that is in store for us? But they're trying to get 2 points. That's going to put them down by 3. And they have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Daniels in the gun. McNichols shifts. Jaden Daniels tries to get around the side. He gets there, and that is good. So Jaden Daniels is able to get into the end zone to add 2. And now the Washington Commanders trail 20-17. The former Heisman Trophy winner, former LSU Tiger, out there battling. We know that Jaden Daniels, when the game is on the line, chips on the table, we know that he is not afraid of the moment. Bryce Young, pressure, throws, caught, Xavier Legette. If you're Xavier Legette, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have gotten the first down, but you got to be able to turn upfield, man. You can't be jumping back. You jump back, you lose a yard, and then you got to try to fight for that yard that you just lost. So here we go. Game time. 4th and 3 for the Carolina Panthers. Look like they're going to bring the house. They definitely want to get the ball out of the hands of Bryce Young. They sending everybody. They sending the mama. They sending his daddy. They sending their cousin. And it is caught by big play Adam Thielen. And that is a first down. So credit to Bryce Young. Pressure all up in his face. Throws the ball, and Adam Thielen climbs the ladder and catches the ball. Got to give credit. Got to give credit to Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers today. Like I said, man, I ain't never going to hear me say nothing bad about Bryce Young unless he playing the Saints. Let's see. CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud. Bless you, babe. Look, I heard my wife sneezing. But anyway, pass, toss, out of bounds, incomplete. But yeah. So pass incomplete by CJ Stroud. And whoa, Turpin trying to get around the side. Oh, and wait a minute. Turpin. Unbelievable. Touchdown. Kevontae Turpin returns the ball after dropping the kick. Makes a unbelievable spin move and just gets down the sidelines. You cannot make this stuff up, man. In shock. The Commanders fans in shock. Commanders players in shock. That pretty much has got to seal the deal. It has got to seal the deal, man. And the kick was up and no good for the Houston Texans. I mean, this has been a nightmare of a game for the Houston Texans. A nightmare of a game. Speaking of nightmare, the kick is up and it is good. So a 10-point lead. This is what you did not want if you're the Commanders. He dropped the ball, gets there, and just makes one spin move, and he's gone. I mean, just completely whiffed on a special teams play, a play in which you would believe that the Commanders should have had containment. The fact that Turpin dropped the ball, had to pick it back up. I mean, the ball bounced between his legs. He picks it up, and credit to him, he doesn't panic, makes one spin move, and he just gone. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's the only thing that you can say. You knew that you could not give up a touchdown, but instead you give up a touchdown, so that might be all she wrote in D.C. But now we take a look at Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers on a 1st and 10, looking, scrambles, throws, and he gets it down the field, and a flag on a play. So that's going to set the Carolina Panthers up at the 1-yard line. So about a minute and some change left in the fourth quarter. The Houston Texans. And yes, that is a pass interference penalty. He did not look. He wasn't looking at all. Bryce Young, who threw that ball on a rope. I mean, you had to be impressed there. He threw the ball down the field, on a rope. We see Steve Spagnuolo. Pretty sure he probably didn't think this game was going to be as competitive for his defense, but you got to give credit to the Carolina Panthers. Got to give credit to them, man. They have really answered the bell and coming into this game, playing the way that they have, doing the things they are doing to try to make this game competitive. Here's the handoff. Chuba Hubbard into the end zone for the touchdown. So the Carolina Panthers are making this thing competitive, making it interesting, and are not giving up and have been taking it to the world champions all game long. So here we go right here. 2-point conversion on the way for the Carolina Panthers to try to tie this game up with a minute and 46 seconds left in the game. One timeout. You got to believe that this is the game. Game is on the line here. If they get this 2-point conversion, you still got that light-skinned brother from Texas Tech that is going to have the football last. But if they do not get this, you have to believe that there's going to be a knee and there's going to be a wrap. All right. Just throw the ball. And that's a flag on Trent McDuffie. And what in the Vegas is going on here? What in the Las Vegas is going on here? 3rd and 5. And we see the Tennessee Titans, and that is tipped. So it looks like the Tennessee Titans are going to have to punt back to the Houston Texans. So the Texans getting one more opportunity to possibly tie the game or taking a lead late in the fourth quarter. So here we go. Because of the penalty, ball at the 2. This is it. It's rather you get it or you don't. This is the deciding factor. More in motion. Hands the ball off. Hubbard gets in there for 2. So the Carolina Panthers tied ball game with the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. You cannot make this stuff up, man. The Carolina Panthers showing the heart of a champion against the world champions. I mean, you got Chris Jones on your back. That is the best interior lineman in football. And he dragged Chris Jones into the end zone. The Carolina Panthers, regardless of how this game ends up, and you got to believe that more than likely, and you got to believe more than likely, it may not end up in their favor. But if it does, what a Herculean effort by the Carolina Panthers. Win, lose, or draw. Nobody expects for them to be in there. And as soon as we watch the Vegas game, the first snap is a fumble. I mean, completely apropos for the Las Vegas Raiders season. I mean, that pretty much sums up their season so far. This can be unbelievable. If the Carolina Panthers can win this game versus the Kansas City Chiefs, they will be the only NFC South team to beat the Chiefs. The Falcons couldn't do it. The Bucks couldn't do it. And the Saints couldn't do it. Could the Carolina Panthers be that team? 3rd and 17 for the Houston Texans. And now there's a timeout by the Tennessee Titans. Rough game for C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. If they win this game, you have to believe that they have no business winning it. Throw the ball. That pass is caught by Travis Kelce. And the clock continues to tick. Patrick Mahomes not in any hurry at all. All they plan for basically is a field goal right now. So no need to hurry. Got all the time in the world. You don't have Harrison Buckner. That's one thing, though. Plenty of time. Throws the ball down the field. And that pass is incomplete. He's looking for a flag. There is none. And there shouldn't have been. But, you know, when you're the Chiefs, you're always looking for a flag. Now, that was just good position right there. He turns around. He sees him. And Michael Jackson makes a really good play. So we going to 3rd and 2. Patrick Mahomes has been here several times. We've seen the stats, 26 game-winning drives. And C.J. Stroud steps out of bounds, pulls a Dan Orlovsky there. He pulls a Dan Orlovsky. Wow. C.J. Stroud having a game from hell today. Did not play well at all. Somebody, I got to wonder, like, did C.J. Stroud and his offensive lineman. Here we go. Patrick Mahomes scrambling. Oh, he's running, scrambling. And he gets more than what he needs. And they're definitely in field goal range now. But like I said, this is Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's shocked by these developments at all. But credit to the Carolina Panthers. They gave the Kansas City Chiefs all they can handle. They gave them all they can handle. So now you got 38 seconds left. And it's pretty much going to be over with. Caleb Williams, scrambling, throw, caught, touchdown. Keenan Allen. So some late drama. They go for 2, throw, caught, DJ Moore. So now you have a 3-point ball game. Why do they keep on showing that fumble? Who cares? Oh, I guess if he fumbled the football, then that means that I guess the clock will still be running. And come on, man. Cowboys look like they're gonna win that football game there. Okay, so the clock gonna continue to run, but it doesn't matter because Kansas City has a timeout. So regardless, they can call the timeout, or they can keep the clock running. Who cares? Yeah, Bryce Young, I mean, you can smile at a point like this because nobody expected for them boys to be in that position. And if you're a Carolina Panther fan, you have nothing to hang your head in shame about at all. Like nobody expected y'all to be in that position. And I think they feel that way. They probably wanted to win. He was trying to get excited, and all of a sudden you got wow. Well, that is Brian Callahan's signature win over the Tennessee Titans. CJ Stroud was sacked 10 times or 9 times. Wow. So here's another onside kick for the Chicago Bears. We've seen 2 so far. Neither were successful. Just so hard to kick onside kicks in today's NFL. Just hard to do, man. Got to wait for the ball to carry 10 yards. And wait a minute. And the Bears get it. The Bears got it. The Bears were able to recover the onside kick, but there's a discussion going on with the refs. You got to see, did the ball carry 10 yards? Who was the first to touch it? Oh, it touched the leg. It touched the leg of the tight end. So that ball is live. It touched his leg. Yep. And it was recovered by the Bears. So the Bears, 2 seconds left in the Carolina-Kansas City Chiefs game, 31-yard field goal. Got to believe the timeout is going to be called here if one hasn't been called already. They're probably going to call their timeout, their final timeout, if they have not called one already. Snap, placement kick on the way. And it is good. So the Kansas City Chiefs in a dogfight with the Carolina Panthers. That pass is caught by DJ Moore with 14 seconds left. Tick, 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 tick. Caleb Williams, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3. What are you doing? Caleb Williams trying to plead his case. Ain't nobody buying it. So so it looked like the Commanders will get the ball back. Had to be maybe the Cowboys tried to throw the ball and it was incomplete. And here we go. To send this game into overtime. Snap, placement, kick on the way. And it is good. So this game is going into overtime. The Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. An impressive pass from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore to get to midfield, a little bit past midfield, and a clutch field goal by the kicker. So now we go into overtime. And the Chicago Bears fans who have been through it all, ups and downs, trials and tribulations, disappointments galore, especially when it comes to the field goal kicking and last moment heroics. But in this game, the kick is good and it sends them into overtime. Now, this game isn't over. Carlos Santos, guy who's been around the league quite a few teams. Now, here we go. Jaden Daniels, 1st and 10. Tries to throw the ball down the field, and it is caught. Terry McLaurin goes around the middle. He breaks down the middle. He's to the 20, the 10, the 5. Oh, McLaurin with the touchdown. Wow. Jaden Daniels does it again. The Jaden Daniels magic is real, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Backs against the wall in their own territory, on the shadow of their own goalposts. And Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin rips the heart out of the Dallas Cowboy fans who finally felt like they had themselves a dub, but the game isn't over just yet. Here we go. This is for the tie. For the tie. Snap. Placement. Kick on the way, and he missed it. He missed. Oh, my goodness. He missed the field goal. You can't make this stuff up, man. What in the John Carney is going on here? It was a bad snap anyway. Snap, Way struggled with it. He tries to get it down. He kicks it, and I mean, just completely went in a different direction. Wow. Wow. After all that. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Football is the game of emotions, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody in that building, after Jaden Daniels throws, it had to be an 80-plus yard touchdown. A 80-plus yard touchdown to Terry McLaurin. After all that, well, it probably was more than that. Probably like a 90-yard touchdown. Goes down, I mean, just completely breaks free. Everybody's cheering. Everybody's excited. Everybody like, man, we're going into overtime. Unbelievable. After this, an improbable touchdown. And after all that, it all comes down to a kicker. Bad snap, bad placement, wide to the left. Wow. A 86-yard touchdown. 86 yards. And now you're going for an onside kick that more than likely will not work. And that's going to the house. This is insane. This It's the most insane football game I've seen all season. This is the most insane game I have seen all season. This is crazy. The last few plays have come down to special teams botches. A botch special teams. Kevontae Turpin returns the ball. A bad snap. Couldn't tie this ball game up. And on an onside kick, Thomas brings the thing to the house. If they miss this field goal, and this one is good. So Jaden Daniels has 14 seconds. 14 seconds. This is insane. This is insane. 24 points in the fourth quarter to 17. Alfred, you spoke too soon, my friend. When you said there are no good football games on today. My goodness. Wow. Wow. Jerry Jones. I mean, this has been what an unbelievable football game. The last 5 minutes of that football game was just 100% cinema. Speaking of cinema, this is a moment that could be written in the movies. If Caleb Williams scrambling, doing too much, bro. Thank you. Sacked by Greenard. And we see Caleb Williams staggering. Look like he hurt. Man, I tell you, I'm all I can say is I'm glad that the Saints didn't have no part of that football game. I'm glad the Saints didn't have no part of that football game. I'm just happy that they had no part of that football game. Thank goodness the Saints had no part of that football game. And you also have a false start. No, excuse me, a delay of game. I'm sorry, I got my TV down. So I gotta kind of decipher what the play could actually be. As we see the Mike Ditka lookalikes out there. Game tied at 27 on the 3rd and 26. I'm just glad the Saints had no part of that game. I'm just glad that it wasn't the Saints and the Commanders. I say football is the game of emotion. It's the game of emotion. It is the game of emotion. My goodness, it is the game. It's the game of emotion, folks. Everybody in that stadium probably thought that they were going to go into overtime. 4th and 16 after Chicago Bears tried to punt to Brandon Powell. Let's see if Brandon Powell can maybe return something here. And no, ball bounces up in the air. He fumbles it, and it's picked up. I don't know, man. I think you may need to take a look at that. He may have been down by contact. It was picked up by the Minnesota Vikings, but I want to see if Brandon Powell actually got down on the ground. Let's take a look. He catches it. He gets tackled, and he's down. He's down by contact. He's down. They call it a fumble. Let me take a look. And, yeah, he's down by contact. So, yeah, they're going to bring it back to that spot. And here we go. Austin Eckler trying to return the punt. I know some of y'all already told me what happened, and he just absolutely got They absolutely slept my boy. He is asleep. So Austin Eckler, gotta pray for that brother. My goodness, he took a shot. He still was able to get up. He was trying to give it his all for his team. I mean, and just basically just now we take a look at overtime, and keep in mind, man, I'm looking for him. Looking for him, he kept on up that football because he did not see Montez sweat. He did not see him come from behind and hit him. This is what I hate about this overtime rule. Now, I understand the Chicago Bears got the ball first. I understand that. But I feel like even if the Minnesota Vikings get the football and they kick a field goal, I feel like the other team needs to get opportunity. Or maybe they need to change the overtime rule where it's just like a 10-minute quarter, right? And whoever wins in those 10 minutes, that's who wins the football game. Corey said my boy TJ is eating his butt off behind that camera. Yep, sure, yep. Still eating. Trying to eat and talk at the same time. Trying to entertain and get nourishment at the same time. And that is caught. I'm pretty sure that game is already over, but they're just trying to prolong the process, trying to keep you engaged. And the final game that we'll wait until the conclusion will be the Vikings and the Bears. Pretty sure that this Cowboy Commanders game is pretty much in the books already based on some of the comments. So, all right, so here we go. Jaden Daniels tries to throw the ball, scrambling, throws the ball down the field. Impressive arm strength. And is tipped up in the air and intercepted by the Dallas Cowboys. And that should just about do it. And the Dallas Cowboys win their 4th game of the season as the Dallas Cowboy players wave goodbye to the Commanders fans that were, regardless of, not getting the outcome, they were entertained by a very compelling and eventful football game. And that is caught by Jordan Addison. He's going to have the first down. They're going to give him forward progress. And thank you to everybody that tuned in. This is a show that is brought to you by BETUS. You can sign up today, get up to 150% on your first deposit, up to 125% on your second and third deposit, up to $2,000. Okay, download the BETUS app or go to their website. Use the promo code YouTube150. No miracles today for the Commanders. Yep. But, I mean, the fact that they were still in that game late was a miracle. And that pass that he threw to Terry McLaurin, I'm talking Jaden Daniels, that was impressive. Do you feel the NFC is still open? Open for what? Open for, the Saints to get a playoff spot? Yeah, it is. But, I mean, as far as them, winning anything of, the number 1 seed or something like that, yeah, that office is closed. TJ, who would be a better off losing, the 49ers or the Packers? I would have to say the 49ers would be better off losing to help you because you have to play the Packers. And if you play the Packers and beat the Packers and the Packers have beaten the 49ers, it helps you. So if you're the Saints, you'll want to see the Packers win this football game because you don't have to play the 49ers. And also, you got to think about what happened to the line judge. I said, I ain't the line judge. This man, what, he tore his Achilles or something? Hey, got the line judge leaving. But yeah, I mean, you have some things. I mean, it might be able to help you because if you got to look at the fact the Saints play the Rams, right? And the Rams have to play the 49ers. If the Saints beat the Rams, that helps them. If the 49ers then beat, I mean, if the Packers beat the 49ers, that also helps you because you don't play the 49ers. And I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not sure who won the first matchup or even if they played. Let me see. San Francisco and let's see, Los Angeles Rams. All right, so they played on in September. All right, so if you definitely need the Packers. You need the Packers to win because if the Saints they play the Rams their next game, if the Saints can somehow beat the Rams, who've already beaten the 49ers, that makes it it makes it more compelling because the fact is, and it also helps your cause because you play the Rams who beat the 49ers. And you also play the Packers who beat the 49ers. So it actually help you in that case. So yes, you need you if you want a team to win, you will want the Packers to win. The Bucks winning today don't really help or hurt you at all. I mean, but because you still got a chance, you got to play them in Tampa anyway in a few weeks. But then let's see. Hand off to Aaron Jones, but no, there is a flag on the play. So that's going to be a false start. But yeah, you want to see the Packers beat the 49ers today. But some people would say you don't want to see, you don't want to see the 49ers beat the Packers, but it will only help them like in the NFC race. Because despite the fact that the Packers winning and they're winning their 8th game if they were to win, if you can beat the Rams and beat the Packers, then it'll help your playoff chances. Here we go. Sam Darnold throws the ball, and that is caught. Justin Jefferson getting up the middle of the field. Justin Jefferson has been relatively quiet today. Hasn't really made too many plays, of any significance. There we go. Brent get it off to Josh Jacobs, and he tried to get 1 yard, and I think that he got it. It's always very dangerous when you try to maneuver the ball or arouse someone because for that brief second, it makes the ball is probably at its most vulnerable. Sam Donald runs and there's another flag on the play. All right, so Kristen Watson trying to get around the sideline, and that's a flag. I would be wondering, like, when they see a team having momentum and stuff like that, and you can literally call holding any play. Like you really can. You can call holding on every play. And I just be wondering, like, when they see a team having momentum early in the game, like, do they call those flags to kind of like stunt the momentum? I just wonder sometimes. Because football, like, regardless of how you feel, like, football is about momentum. Like, if you ever been in a gym playing a pickup basketball game, momentum play a role. Because when your team, like, start losing, they back against the wall, that's when guys start talking, come on, man, we got to do this. We got to do this. And then one guy got to want to take it upon himself to try to act like he Jordan in his prime, Like, momentum is an interesting thing. Sam Darnold in the gun, pump fakes, throws the ball to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones stiff arms a guy to the ground. And now they're trying to push the issue. Now we move into the later games. Geno Machino looking, throws the ball, and that is caught. That's by DK Metcalf. DK gets yards after the catch. Once again, the Arizona Cardinals are 6-4 right now. If the Seahawks can win this game, that will actually put them in first place in the NFC West. So here we go. Jordan Love with the play action. Throws the ball, caught by Jaden Reed. And that was a grown man catch right there because you know you about to get hit and expose everything you got. Sam Darnold standing strong in the pocket. Caught. Hockenson gets the first down. So on a holding penalty that had them back as far as 1st and 20, they're able to get the first down. So they huddle up. 4 minutes left in the game. You don't want to end this game in a tie. You want to try to go home happy with a win, and they know all they need is a field goal. All you need is a Romo field goal, and you win a football game. So here we go. Hand off to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones gets up the middle, gets a few yards on the play. And as you see the green line, it indicates Romo's field goal range. They go hurry up. Play action. Darnold looking. Throws the ball wide open. Hockenson stiff arms and doesn't get out of bounds, but he's definitely in field goal range now. And also we see Tucker Kraft, a tight end, second-year guy, gets himself a touchdown, gets the Green Bay Packers on the board. We also take a look at the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Sean Payton's Denver Broncos, who beat the Atlanta Falcons to sleep last week. All right, here's the handoff. That's for the Denver Broncos. He gets around the side, and they get into the red zone for the first time today. So Bo Nix, who has been playing really well lately, they try to get the ball to the running back Williams and get stopped in the backfield. All right, so they use their final timeout, and out comes Romo, not Tony. Don't call him Tony. Don't know his first name, but we just call him not Tony Romo. The field goal kicker. Romo can go out here and win this football game. Them boys got, is that Josh McCown on the sideline? Don't be surprised in the next couple of years, Josh McCown, somebody head coach. You got Josh McCown on the sideline. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and good evening, folks. Everybody drive home safely. Romo did not choke. At least not. Romo did not choke. At least this time. So the Chicago Bears giving it their all. This is the type of game, man. You lose this, it kind of pretty much makes people lose hope. You leave it all on the field. You fight for everything. It's late in the season. A lot of question marks around your coach, question marks around coordinators, questions around quarterback, and you lose a game like that in heartbreaking fashion. And here we go. Bo Nix scrambling. Goes to the right, just chunks that thing out of bounds, and the refs just throws the flag. Because they're wondering probably, is it Nintendo ground? Okay. Ineligible man downfield. All right, folks. Well, we're in the second slate of games. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. Make sure I get the popcorn dust off me. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast and the Gumbo Pot Sports Podcast, NFL Red Zone Watch Along. We covered the first slate of games. Hope you all enjoyed it. I ask that you follow me on X and Blue Sky at TJAY Jones 8. And also you can follow and hit the subscribe button for the Gumbo Pot Sports Podcast as well as the State of the Saints podcast. I really appreciate that. Hope everybody had fun. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to everybody that tuned in. Shouts out to everybody And if this may be your final time, like listening before the holiday, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Hope you have a good one. I hope that those that are traveling, you have safe travels, and hopefully, you get some good Thanksgiving eat. Ain't nothing worse than waiting for Thanksgiving to come around and somebody mess up the dressing, or they mess up the potato salad. All right. That ain't a good look. All right. But thank you all so much. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat? And I'll see you down the road.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.